Hi, everyone. I'm Whitney Friedlander. I'm a journalist based in Los Angeles who covers entertainment. And like you, I'm a fan of this movie. So I'd like to bring out two of the actresses, Adriana and Rossy. Are you both ready?
Thank you so much.
So first of all,
I love Los Angeles.
you love Los Angeles.
I love you.
They were both talking about the wonderful weather we're having today. I'm very underdressed for this panel. Both of you look much more stylish than I am. So tell me a little bit about what the conversation was like for both of you and with Pedro when you were getting cast for this role. Do you want to? Whoever wants to start.
Well, at the beginning, Pedro, when he begins to write, he said, "I have a role for you. I'm not sure about the casting yet, but this is for you. This one is for you." And now, for me, I never cast with Pedro because he knows what he can get from me, and I didn't know that all this transformation going on, but I had so much fun. It was great.
Well, in my case, I did 3 castings, 3 auditions, and it was very different, the process, because I didn't know who the director was. So it was like confidential, and I was asking and trying to find it out, but it was impossible because I didn't found like comedy in the script, so I didn't know. And I was asking, it's the new film of maybe Almodóvar or Amenábar or Bayona, and I didn't know. So after the third audition, then the casting director told me, "Adriana, you are working in these 3 auditions for the new film of Pedro Almodóvar, and the main character." What? Yeah. It's crazy. So I was very, very thankful because I didn't know, the identity, and it was better because if I had known the identity, I would have been like, crazy.
You were able to keep your cool a little bit better. Yeah. Did you freak out in the room?
Yeah.
Also, let's talk about your character a lot. Not many people, and probably, I'm assuming, not many actresses like to see themselves age on screen. So both of you, how was that process like? How did you figure out what you were going to look like? Adriana, how did you go through with the hair and makeup department, figuring out how your hair was going to change?
Yeah. Well, the process was very, very interesting because I have in the film like 3 different images. The first one is not my hair, the second one is not my hair, and the third one is my hair, but absolutely like blonde. And it was very, very strange to me, very different, because I was blonde, but when I was 80 years old. So suddenly I felt like, whoa, I'm returning back to my childhood. No, but I have a girl of 11 years old. So it was like, first time in my life that I play a character a mother of a teenager, and then everything was very, very new and very, very exciting. Like, then I realized which type of teenager maybe I was, and how unfair we are when we are like young people and we are children, and we aren't aware of the effort of our parents, and it's very we are sometimes very cruel. Yeah, it was a very, very interesting process, but it's complicated to talk about everything, because with hair and makeup, we were working for 2 months or 2 months and almost or 3 months, and we were combining all this process, this physical process with rehearsals. So everything was like like a whole process and very, very interesting, like holistic process. Yeah.
For me, well, I have to say that I love wigs. For me, it's not a problem to put some wigs on. I'm ready. But it's true that I was confident with Pedro because I know I was trust him so much. But the metamorphosis was like, oh my goodness, they put some long hairs here, white hairs, and all these things like, oh my God, because it was him, I say, go ahead. But with another director, perhaps I say, what are you doing now? But I must say that with Pedro, I abandoned myself and say, do whatever you want with me, darling. But we have 2 weeks, the Xoan and the older, and was very funny because my father's come from the north of Spain too. I met a lot of these kind of women. I wanted much more things, but Pedro said, no, that is too much. That is too much. But always having fun to create the character on how she's going to dress, how she has the hair. It's always very, very, very funny to work this. Always the preparation is the most funny thing. Then when you are finished, you have to do what you have to do, but all this preparation is so excited.
And also, did either of you read the stories that it was based on?
Alice Munro? No, I didn't. Right now, yeah.
We bought it in Toronto.
But not during the film. Yeah. We bought it in Toronto, like.
That's appropriate. She's a Canadian author.
Yeah, but normally when I don't know in your case, but when I play a character that is based in a book, in a story, I try to read it later because that way I can like to learn or directly the script, not to look at my character like a fiction one. I can like drink my character as more real. Yeah.
For example, for the adult Julieta, it's true that Pedro to Adriana didn't advise to read, but for Emma, he gave her a lot of reference that helped, because it's true that the adult Julieta is always completely inside, and she has no relation with the other characters. It's a very travel alone, all this suffering, and I guess he works differently. That is great because he works differently with both of them, and the result is the one Julieta, not the schizophrenia Julieta.
And talk to me, Adriana, you talked about this briefly, but talk to me about how this made you relate to your relationships with your children. You have children. Yes. So did you show it to your sons and say, look, this is what could happen?
I have two teenagers, a boy 18 years old and a girl 17, and it's true that with my daughter, I know the relationship mother and daughter is very, very complex. And also, I love my mother. I'm so happy she's still living at 85 years old. But she's perhaps the person most important in my life. But is the one who can hurt me more. Even, do you know what I mean? And sometimes even we don't want it. Women, we have this ancestral thing going on. That is, we have this tendency to be much more kind with the kids, with the boys, and severe and strong with the girls, because we project to them. And also, it's so when we have a bad relationship with our mother, with our daughter, it's so painful. It's like, and then with my daughter, she's a lion, a Leo, very, very fire, very strong. And the first word she said when she was a little girl was no. And I said, oh my God, I spent 40 years to learn to say that. And you 1 year old, you say, I don't gonna castrate you, darling. Better think about you and say no, because then I always holding myself if I want to say something bad to her, because I don't want to programmate her like sometimes my mother did to me with the best intention but wrong. And we women, we have to change our relationship with the other women, with our daughters, because depends of us to open this freedom finally. It's not depends of the men. Men has to arrange their own problems, you men. But women, with ourselves, we have to change a lot of things. I don't know how you say in English the solidarity between women. In Spain, there is a word sororidad.
Sororidad?
Sí. Sorority? Six? Sorority. That's what we have to potence this sorority in our daughters, in our sisters, in our mothers, and blah, 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 blah. Sorority. Yes. What a speech.
But speaking of sororities, your character did not have the best relationship with Julieta.
Not a good one, my Marianne, for the sorority.
No.
Because she's a victim. She's a victim of that in a little village that castrate and that women are. The way she, for me, was so hard, like a free woman to say to Adriana's character, a woman has to be at home and take care of the family. That is not, for me, it was like, Pedro, please. But no way, the character, you have to empathize with your character if it is mean or even is. Thank God she has this good relationship with the Julieta's daughter, and she is the only moment you see Marianne is laughing or smiling or kind, and you know she's like,
You're a thief.
But what's very funny with Adriana and Daniel Grau, who play in, because they were the first time they worked with Pedro, and Pedro take advantage of this and said to me, now you're going to say action, don't say to them, and you're going to go inside and you're going to make this joke and don't say anything. The action.
We're in the kitchen. When we were in the kitchen, and Xoan told me like, "You're gonna stay here? No, I'm leaving. No, stay here." And then Marian came. So yeah,
playing jokes, and they were like, "What's going on? Is this going to be in the film or not?" What was very funny. Pedro was very
crazy.
Funny.
We're super crazy because finally I said like, yeah, I'm gonna stay here with you, but I don't have my swimwear. And then Marian said, "Don't worry, I have a personal underwear, very dirty,
very old,
for you.
Dirty, old and dirty underwear to let to you."
Start laughing like, "No, I can't."
Well, let's talk about Marianne's relationship with Julieta for a second. She's, in my mind, kind of like an Iago. Iago character, like from Othello. She is meddling, and she wants. It's unclear. Is she in the first scene when she tells her to leave? Is she doing that to warn her, or is she doing it because she does not want her there?
No, she doesn't want her there. I guess we thought, Adriana and I, that perhaps she was in love with him in a kind of way, in a maternal way, and also, I don't know, but she was very territorial, and
you and
just me with
okay.
When you came. why you became territorial too, but it's true that everybody feels guilty in the film, but not Marianne. No. And she's the one. She's telling the truth, but at what price, darling? And perhaps she has to shut the mouth. I don't know, yeah, but I like the Julieta, that she's a teacher of Greek tragedy, and also the fatality in our lives that we don't never program it, because it's something that happened like that. And this is what this is strange, but. This film, I guess, is working about how women, we feel guilty for everything, and we feel like we have the weight of the happiness of the entourage, and we don't have to. We are not responsible of this happiness in our entourage. We have to stop to feel guilty, and we try. Yeah, we try.
Yeah, we try day by day. Yeah.
And I mean, Do you, at the beginning of the movie, it seems like Julieta is almost naive. She, she worries that she's the reason that the man jumped in front of the train. She worries that eventually, she's so sure of herself that her father is having an affair. Do you think she stayed? Do you think she grew, or do you think she just became, she was still very sheltered?
I think she grew, of course, but there is, you have said a very important word to me, is like naive. When I read the script, then I thought that maybe Julieta was naive, but I don't think so. I think that Julieta, she is pure, and she's a pure woman, but she's not naive at all. Look at her on the train, and imagine if maybe in the present nowadays, if we are able to do it and to enjoy it. And then I realized when we were talking, Pedro and me, we were talking about the scene in the train, that maybe nowadays we feel that we are more open-minded and we are more relaxed with sex or our body, and we are not. So I think that Julieta, she is not naive at all. No, she's not. But of course, yeah, she grew in the film, but maybe, yeah, one of the problems in life, and it's silence. And it was maybe the first, the first name of the film. Finally, it was Julieta. But all the things that we keep, under the carpet, or we don't say because we are afraid, and we think that maybe we say, especially with our family, we are like very personal feelings, and we prefer not to say them because we think that we are not going to be accepted. But I think that always it's better to be sorry about the things you say than not to say anything, because when you start keeping and keeping and keeping, you're pretending a person that you are not, and relations become fake. And I think it's maybe one of the problems in our lives.
Yeah, it's true that Julieta explains so much about this lack of communication between the people we love, and the silence that become very heavy. And even me, all of us, we have issues with members of our family, and say, even me, with my little brother, I say, I had to speak with him, I had to talk, and sometimes you don't talk because you think you're going to hurt them, but it's true that everything we verbalize, we get out, and it's not traumatic. We have to say the things we think. If we keep it, this became came the illness, and we can become sick, and all this feeling that we keep inside. Express ourselves. What about them? Do they want to ask something? I'm curious. No, it's not that.
What's that?
No, I'm curious if they want to ask something then.
Yeah, we have a couple questions. I do want to ask one more, though, about Julieta and her stalling in telling her daughter about her father's death. Was that out of her own guilt, or was that out of a way to protect her daughter?
Well, I think that, like, she was just a little girl when her father died, so I understand my character because I can tell her everything, and it's because Julieta, she doesn't know at all everything, because when something terrible like that happened, you are in shock, and you don't know, with absolutely you are not secure about the responsibilities or the causes. You are just in shock, and of course you want to protect your children, but I can talk, about and father and like unfaithful situation. I think it's not appropriate. But Julieta, I feel like love, when I think about her, because I think that she's very human, and she does just what she can, and she's not able to do more because she's very vulnerable, and she can, you know, like deal with all her feelings. It's very complicated, and then you realize that human, we are more fragile and more vulnerable than we think. And we look at, you know, around, and we are in a very modern society with the last technology, and we think that we are able to do everything and we can like drive our own lives, but it's not true, because the most important things in our life suddenly happen, and like love, family, illness, death, and we are not, we have not, you know, power to drive all these things. So we can just, I think, accept and to say thanks whenever we can. Yeah.
I do have some questions from the audience. This one's from Colbert and Marilyn. How is it different to work with Pedro Almodóvar versus other directors you've worked with? How is it different to work with Pedro versus other directors?
Well, I begin with Pedro. For me, was the first one. Then I still be in the one. But I feel so secure because he knows exactly what he wants. He's so precise. He is very demanding, but he shows you very well what he wants. You have to try not copy him, nor imitate it. Do it like yourself. But he's playing so good, and then also he take care of, and you know that you can go free because if you are going in a direction and it's not good, he's going to dress you so quick and say no, it's not that what I want, I do that. Then you can work so free. And I love so much also that he has always an open door to the exceptional, to the accidental things that can happen in a when we are shooting. It's not like a rigid, I want this, tell this, it is. Even with the words, sometimes, can I say that? If he likes, he gonna let you, no, I don't buy it, because in theater and cinema we use that word. Can you buy me this? No, I don't buy it, or yes, I buy it. Or thank you. But it's open to all this and created and funny things and always brilliant. Then you feel so comfortable and so in security. So you are in a security zone. He's the best. To resume.
How has your relationship changed with him over the years?
Not that much. It's true that's so long. But seems like was yesterday. He has this kind of funny thing going on when he's shooting. He's in his element, and his vibration is so strong and like a little kid. I think it's. That's what artists also, we are always in relation with this kid inside us, and like to play is like joke, and we don't have to forget this never.
Yeah, working with Pedro, for me was very, very different. Yeah, very, because it was the first time in my life that I that I know like a real director. Because he control everything in the when he's filming, like everything. He's not only looking at your soul or your words or your feelings. He's at the same time looking at your eyebrow, your lips, your body. You're like a rat, like a little rat. Okay, you're trying to satisfy like everything that he expects, but. Yeah, he's very, very smart, and he's also very generous. And it's true that he's a very demanding director, but he gives you 100%. And he's always working. He never stops. Never. He's, for example, I have started one scene, and I'm ready, I'm prepared for the next day. And then when you arrived in the set, he tells you, I'm rewriting the scene. So wait for me here and I'm gonna give you the newest scene. Oh my God, the new. So yeah, so he never stops, and it's very stimulating for you because you are ready all the time, and you start believing that you cannot be you cannot be sure, and you cannot be relaxed. 'Cause you have to be prepared, like in real life. Yeah, it's very interesting.
This question is also for Adriana. It's from Mark and from Hilti. Do you prefer film or TV roles?
I prefer everything because I love my job. Yeah.
And this is from Pam Paulson, and it's for both of you. And what was the biggest challenge in preparing for performing this role, and how have you dealt with it? I'm assuming changing scenes the minute it was pretty hard. Sure, whoever wants to go first.
And you were talking about which type of scenes?
What's the biggest challenge in preparing for this role?
These were sex scenes or everything? Everything with Pedro is very challenging. Everything, like just say hello, that you are like, what? And Pedro, try again. And you can say, Adriana, you can say hello in 20 or 30 different ways. So yeah, start. Yeah, and there is something like very, very nice of Pedro. I was one day like, a little bit like frustrated and sad, and I felt that I was not doing Julieta in an appropriate way, and I feel like, and he told me, Adriana, stop. Perfection, it doesn't exist, but you never should stop trying. So stand up, stop crying, and try. And it was, okay, it's true. So yeah, you should follow perfection, but it's true that it doesn't exist. But just the most important thing is to have the idea that you are in your own path, in your way, and you are looking for some excellence, but you are just walking, and it's the most important thing. Yeah.
No, but the challenge with Pedro is how you can live without him after the film is finished. He's so addictive, and you want to keep going. That's the problem with Pedrito. With Pedrito, you miss him so much. His sense of humor, and when you get habituated to see him each day for a while, then. We miss him. Even here, we miss him.
Adriana, did you and Emma, who played your older version, and Pedro talk about continuity and talk about maybe even with those sex scenes, how to make your character fluid throughout?
Fine. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, but you feel very comfortable with Pedro. Pedro is like a mother and like a father and everything. It's like family. So he was like, yeah, he just wanted something with everything he does, something true and something real. So yeah, he told us, the actor that plays the character of Xoan, Daniel Grau, and me, he just told us, do it with passion. And it just what I need. So okay, we're gonna play it.
And Rossy, you've kind of talked about this already, but this is a question from Christian. How do you feel about this role compared to the other roles you've done with him, with Pedro? Do you have a favorite?
Perhaps this film, I see this film like in the same family of The Flower of My Secret, for example. Perhaps this woman, when she get my role in the Flower of My Secrets, can be this woman, I don't know, can be cousins or related in some way. No, this is some similarities. Yes, that it's true that is the character Marian is the one I made with him with less sense of humor, because we wanted to play a lot of jokes, but was not appropriated for the film. It has to be very strong, very hard, very antipathic. But yes, it has always all these women. just can be from the same family in sense of way. Even the Julieta can be like this Marisa Paredes or The Flower of My Secret, desperate, searching. I don't know. This film is true that this Alice Munro inspiration, all this has is much more deep. Julieta is like, I don't know, but you're gonna have 2 days, like some frames gonna come to you, and it's hard to digest this film in a sense of way. It's very, very deep and it's true that about the guiltiness we were talking, how do we feel guilty? Nobody asked why Xoan goes to the sea when he's a sailor. He knows that it's not good, the weather. Hello, hello, baby. But perhaps he's desperate because he thinks that she's going to abandon him after she knows that he was sleeping with the other girl. I mean, all these consequences that sometimes we don't take, we don't put the attention, all these circumstances and these consequences, the fatality and all this melting pot of things and emotions. But it's true that sometimes we don't get the calm to say, we want to talk later or whatever. No, go to the ship and hello. Sure. And everybody feels guilty. It's like when somebody commits suicide and you are sad, but you want to kill him because why did you do that? You know, is for Xoan is the same. You why did you went to the sea? You said you knew that it was not good weather, no? This kind of things that make this film so complex and a lot of reflections that a lot of interpretation, and also we can feel it that in our life we can applicate a lot of these. The feelings and think about this film a lot. We love Julieta.
Yeah, we love.
I think that's a good note to end on. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
all.
You too. Thank you very much. You are so warm.